You are all. So a bit of positivity in this video. So this is to do with predictive programming. So as you're aware, I've said before, me personally, I think the media, what you get told on the news and radio and newspapers, is utter bollocks, and it's fabricated to spin a certain narrative and manipulate you to believe a certain thing about things that didn't happen. The main bulk of a headline probably did happen, but then they completely fabricate it. For anyone who wants to look into that further, I'd strongly advise watching the Utopia drama on Channel 4, the British one. Don't watch the American one, watch the British one. And there's numerous times where people who are the good guys are set up as the bad guys, and then the normies watching the BBC are told that they're the bad guys. Now, Blade Runner. So I'm going to use Blade Runner as my first example. Blade Runner, of course, was made in 1982 and it was set in 2019. Obviously, this is what the powers that shouldn't be, it was their vision of the future, of the way they wanted things to be around 2019. Totally unrealistic, it was never going to happen really, on the scale that they wanted it. It was far too fast paced to change and it didn't happen. Things are decaying and the world is slowly descending into an absolute shithole, but our culture's disappearing and it's just becoming one atomised consumer. However, there's clearly a fatigue now. People are fed up. People are starting to wake up. So the more they push, the more people are going to wake up. So again, we're in a good place, I'd say. Even some of the normies, deep down, there's a resentment and even if they keep taking away bread and circuses by shutting down pubs and nightclubs, people get pissed off because they're getting their little toys taken away from them. Now, in order to prolong this, Blade Runner 2049 came out. So obviously it came out in 2017. So it's almost like them saying, our plans aren't going as we planned, so we're going to push it back further in the hope that we reach our goal by 2049. Other movies that are worth a mention: The Running Man, an absolute classic. I've mentioned it a few times. Arnold Schwarzenegger back in his day, made in 1987. I grew up watching it as a kid. Obviously, as a kid, I didn't realise what it was about. I just thought it was a brilliant movie. But it was set in 2019, somewhere around there, maybe 2018. I remember when we reached 2018, 2019, thinking, well, because I was into all this stuff by then, but I was a lot more depressed about it. It's much more doom and gloom and less optimistic. And nowadays I'm just a lot more hardened to it all. But again, we haven't reached anywhere near that stage. However, as it says here a bit later on, the plot of the movie is it's all about pacifying people. So 2017, the United States has become a totalitarian police state following a worldwide economic collapse. That could still happen quite easily. The government pacifies the populace through violent TV shows. Its most popular being The Running Man, a broadcast game show where criminals fight for their lives as runners, fleeing from armed mercenaries called stalkers to earn a government pardon and tropical vacation. Anyway, the main point being how much I see it with some of people I know very well. They watch endless TV, dancing on ice, Strictly Come Dancing, football, F1. It's just bollocks, isn't it? It's just like really mind-numbing sort of bollocks. All the soaps, Coronation Street, EastEnders, all of them are extremely diverse because they're all pushing the right messages. Coronation Street even did one on climate change. It was an absolute joke. It's all bollocks, isn't it? It's just, well, at least the most recent EastEnders storyline, for example, was all the women had been hard done by men, and funnily enough, he ended up killing a lad as well. But it was all like the women have been hard done by because all men are bad in this modern world. And the other movie, Soylent Green. So the year is 2022, and I won't spoil the plot for you, but basically, the USA is a completely trashed, almost apocalyptic landscape. Mass unemployment. The intro to Soylent Green is very good because it shows the USA and the Industrial Revolution, so as it's on its way up, and then it shows it on its way down as it descends into what it is now. But again, that's another one. 2022, we haven't reached that. stage by far. I mean, you watch some of these videos in America, these people who go around filming out the cars and, you know, the homeless skid rows and people shooting up in the street. It's bad. It is bad, but the thing is with America, it hasn't really got the same kind of roots that the UK's got. We've got thousands of years of history. You know, the thing is, same as Western Europe, France, Italy, Spain, Germany, North Scandinavia, even Eastern Europe, obviously, Russia. We've got so much history to anchor us down onto. They are chipping away at it without a doubt, but again, it's just taking a lot longer than they hoped for, obviously, and there must be an element of desperation there now. Or maybe there isn't. I'm not one of them, thankfully. So we'll see, but it's a positive note to think all them movies were projected for around the late teens of the 21st century and the early 20s of the 21st century, and we're nowhere near that. It's not that bad. It's bad, don't be wrong, it's grim, but you got to remember this is what they wanted us to get to, the darkest place possible. That's what they projected and envisioned in their movies. I'd say movies, to finish on, I'd say movies are like Satan's dreaming, basically. Or if you don't believe in Satan, that's fine. But if you want to put it a different way, it's the parasitical elites. I don't like using the term elites, so I'm going to try and stop using that. The parasites and scum that, you know, rule the world. It's their thoughts and dreams for ordinary people being projected and shown to us as entertainment. Anyway, that'll do for today. All the best. Cheers.